Jess, I've got some business up top.
Oh, wow. Business here on Quest, the adventure game podcast.
Yeah, I've got some business up top. I'm Ben, PS_Garrick on Twitch.
I'm Jess, Decaf Jedi everywhere.
Jess, here's my business up top. Last night, I woke up at, let's say, 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
and I had a Charlie horse.
Oh, no. Are you okay today?
I'm fine today, but like I feel it when I walk around.
Yeah.
But it does. Those are so fucking painful, aren't they?
Oh, they're the worst. No, I mean, are we talking thigh or calf?
I believe that would. I think it was the calf. Yeah, it was the calf.
Oh.
And the thing is that like I don't think I've talked about this on the podcast. You know this, but like I recently sprained both my ankles.
Mm-hmm.
Did I talk about this on the pod?
Yeah, parkour.
I was doing parkour, and by that I mean I was walking down the street looking at my phone. No one to blame but myself on that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so I've had no end of various leg and foot pains and problems for the past 3 weeks since doing that stupid thing, which I know if you're listening, you might even be looking at your phone and walking down the street right now. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
This is our PSA. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
But anyway,
but if you are going to do it while listening to Quest, the adventure game podcast.
Yeah. So you can always associate us with a searing pain. So like I've had just nothing but various leg and foot aches and pains. I'm starting physical therapy in 2 weeks, which hopefully that will work towards resolving this. I'm just now I feel like at least as an adult, I think I've only exclusively gotten Charlie horses at 3 a.m. Does that track for you?
Unless I've done something really stupid, like I've had a few like where maybe I've just like been seated or something and stretched out in a weird way, and then it kind of cramped back on me. But yeah, it's a sleepy time thing for me mostly.
Yeah, like it's like, because for me it's I wake up and I'm like I have like in my head it's like, why am I awake right now?
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel it.
Oh, it's the unbearable pain.
Well, but there's a moment before the pain because it's like a rubber band snapping.
Yes.
And there's a moment where I recognize like what is about to happen, which is even like it's the crest of a roller coaster. Where I'm just like, oh no, I know. And here's the thing. I've once successfully gotten out of a Charlie horse.
How'd you do it? What's your
secret?
Know.
I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did.
Wooden spoon or?
I just was like, I'm going to maneuver my leg in such a way that I'm not going to do this. And
did you like turn into the skid and somehow like prevent it?
I have no idea what I did. I have no idea. It's knowledge that I only have at 3 a.m.
Only Sleepy Ben knows that.
Only Sleepy Ben.
Let me tell you about my situation that I've recently encountered.
Yeah.
First, you need to know 2 things about me and my sleep habits.
All right.
First of all, I am a back sleeper. Yeah. I sleep flat on my back. Second, I like to like have a little feather like above my head that like as I snore like goes up in the air and then flutters back down. It's
yeah.
But second, I sleep under a weighted blanket.
Me too.
The weighted. Aren't they amazing?
Oh yeah, because for me it was I always liked sleeping under a comforter, and then I realized that it was the weight of the comforter.
Yeah.
But it's still also sleep under a comforter.
I go to hide from the weight of the world is under my weighted blanket.
That's right.
But the combination of the two, I've gotten in a bad habit in my sleep now, sleeping on my back under a weighted blanket, turning my toes downward, like almost like a ballerina on point.
Oh yes, I've been here. I've done
with
this.
The weighted blanket holding them down.
Oh, yes, that's a recipe for pain.
Yeah. So I wake up the next morning and just my ligaments, tendons in my ankles are just completely stretched out. And because, again, it's like I've had a small amount of weight bearing down on them in that uncomfortable toes pointed forward sort of way. And a few nights ago, I managed to simultaneously get some sort of Charlie horse / cramp in both shins. In both, like whatever ligament tendon is running through there. Like, and what I was trying to do is like forcibly pull my toes back up to a 90-degree angle. And I get my feet back in the direction they belong against the weight of the weighted blanket. And I have never wanted to die.
Oh, it's horrible.
So it's just like, it'd be easier not to survive this at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. It might as well just send me to the farm upstate,
Yeah, absolutely. It was unbearable.
You know what, Jess? I did that 2 weeks ago with my weighted blanket, and normally that's fine because my feet are quite flexible. But you know what makes a foot not flexible is spraining it.
Yes.
And so like the whole next day, like I had finally kind of gotten over, like the crutches went in the closet, and I wasn't running around, but I was happy to, like, I could walk around okay. And then like the whole next day I was just like, I am in horrible pain. Like it hurts to walk again because both my feet were in the ballerina point all night. And so now I have to hike up the weighted blanket. And
oftentimes I leave my feet exposed.
Yeah. Now are you the only person with a weighted blanket, or is this a shared between you and your lovely wife?
It is my own.
It is your own.
She has a. We've long slept with 2 comforters or blankets on the bed due to, I don't want to point fingers,
right?
But one of us can't share a blanket in any way. One of us, when they want to roll over, grabs the blanket and then rolls with it to their side. Now, remember which one of us already established they slept on their back. I'm not pointing fingers here. Take my wife, please. But yeah, we've long slept with separate blankets. So I am under the weighted blanket. She is under a normal person blanket.
She's under a normal blanket. Well, I mean, I have all
a non-prescription blanket, an over-the-counter blanket.
It'd be amazing. It'd be amazing if you can get a prescription weighted blanket. Like, it's like, give me 100 pounds.
That's right. I want something that you can't get on the street, like something that like has very strict warnings about having children near it and things like that. Yeah.
I want to be slowly flattened over the course of the night. Like, doesn't that sound good?
I want to feel like I'm being held down, like, forcibly. That's what I'm going for. I think that's how I would sleep best.
Yeah, I want to be crushed. And is this some sort of sex thing? Now it is.
Yeah. That's the kind of podcast we are now. Sorry, it's adventure games and weird crushing fantasies.
Yeah, how you doing, Jess?
I'm doing pretty well. Ben, I have to warn you. I'm coming into this with a little bit of lethargy because I had a big dinner. I went out to our local Thai restaurant.
Now, Jess.
Yeah?
I've heard this lethargic excuse before.
Yeah, no, you're going to feel it tonight. This is the real deal. Our listeners have already picked up on it because, Ben, we went out for Thai, and I got...
And this is the Thai place you've been going for years.
The one we've been going to. Yeah, amazing.
They held your daughter. Yeah.
They held my daughter when she was a baby. We walk in, they are like, our drinks hit the table like within 10 seconds of us being there because they know what we all want.
Yeah.
It's the neighborhood Thai place.
Love that place.
Love it.
I love a place like that.
I ordered what can only be described as the largest plate of basil fried rice that has ever been served to a human being. Now, the way they prepare this, it's going to be basically like a drunken noodle turned into a fried rice dish. So it's that flavor profile, tons of dark soy sauce, tons of basil, some chili paste in there.
This is the weighted blanket of food.
It really is.
You're wearing a weighted blanket in your stomach right now.
And I mean, the play, honestly, this came in front of me, and I think it was legitimately like 4 servings of fried rice. And I feel like I ate 3 of those and brought home a small amount in a box because I felt ashamed to finish it all. But I'm moving slow, Ben. My mind is slow. Don't expect my usual witty repartee. It's not coming tonight.
That's so real. That's so real. Like, it's the challenge of, it's like, you go to like a restaurant that you love. This is a restaurant that makes big, large serving sizes. And you and because you love this restaurant, that they're going to make the thing that you love. You're going to eat a little extra.
Yeah.
But then there's that little bit left.
Yes.
And you're not going to get rid of it because this is food you love.
It's food I love.
But it's just like, I shouldn't have eaten this much. And now and then you hit the challenge, which is, it's like, well, I shouldn't have eaten this much, but this is not lunch.
Right.
Like, you look at it and you're just like,
right.
This is not
This is
lunch,
less than a lunch.
But it is wasteful to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, well, is this a lunch and I have like an apple and a banana?
Yeah.
Or am I just gonna feel bad tonight? And by that, I mean not feel guilty because I threw it away, but feel bad because I just swallowed a cannonball.
Yes. Now, I mean, there's also that part of me that is thinking the whole time, it's like, you've already eaten too much fried rice.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
What's a few more bites? Yeah,
that's
just
exactly what I'm saying.
Not even leave the restaurant with it. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and just knock it out. But
you look at it and you're just like, that's not lunch, so I must eat it for dinner.
Yes. I've already eaten like 6 times that amount of rice. What's a few more bites? But I didn't do that. And I will say that it was amazing, Ben. Is there anything more comforting than a big plate of fried rice?
I love fried rice, but fried rice is not where I reach.
Would not be what I would order either. Like, this is the first time I've probably ordered this in 20 visits.
Okay.
Tonight was normally I'm a curry boy.
I'm a curry boy.
Yeah, I'm a curry boy.
We're the curry boys.
That's what they call us.
And fried rice is never what I reach for. But as someone in a relationship with a fried rice boy, that I'm getting scoops of that shit.
You're not passing up fried rice. It's just sitting there.
No, I'm not gonna kick fried rice out of bed for eating crackers.
Yeah.
Or eating fried rice, eating itself. Disgusting.
Auto cannibalism.
Well, speaking of auto cannibalism, Jess, what have you been playing?
Oh gosh, Ben, I've had a frustrating gaming experience lately that I'd like to share with everyone. I decided to, on a whim, I've been thinking about Tomb Raider lately, and I don't have a lot of experience with the early Tomb Raider games. I don't have a ton of experience with the early Tomb Raiders, so I thought to myself, I'd like to go back and play Tomb Raider 1. I haven't played it really since probably PlayStation 1 very seriously at all, and even then I just played a little bit. So I decided to grab the Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 remastered collection that came out about 2 years ago. It's from Crystal Dynamics and Aspyr. And it has the quality of life stuff that you want from an update like that. It runs nicely in modern Windows. It has, all kinds of all the sort of stuff you'd expect. Yeah. And some upgraded graphics and stuff. I actually kind of prefer the old look.
Oh, the old look is way better.
Yeah. What I really was excited about was it had what were described as modern controls as an option.
Got rid of the tank.
Yeah, you can still play as the tank controls, which I tried for a little while. And it's like, how did this game become the massive phenomenon that it did?
Everything was tank controls at the time.
It was built on such precise jumps. Like I went to the little tutorial level inside Lara's mansion, and it's like, here's how you jump from one ledge to another.
Yep.
And that was one of the most difficult experiences of my gaming life. Yep. It was unbelievable. And that's like the tutorial. That was the first jump in the game.
Yeah.
But then the modern controls, which give you normal runaround, they make aiming your pistols feel a little bit more natural and some things like that, moves a bunch of Lara's basic maneuvers off of the controller or hides them under like hold down right trigger while pressing this other button. So you lose things like her ability to do side jumps and backflips, and the button to grab a hold of ledges now requires you to press 2 buttons at the same time, if I'm not mistaken.
Can you remap that? Is that remappable?
No, you cannot. You have tank controls or modern, and as far as I can tell, at least short, it's not in the menus as far as I can tell. Maybe you can fiddle with some ionize or something like that.
Or like maybe with the Steam input.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe you could. Yeah, you might be able to override that, but it's too bad because running around without tank controls is wonderful. But right away, basic thing, I mean, there's a lot of grabbing ledges and mantling up in a Tomb Raider game. So I don't know. Maybe just replaying the early Tomb Raiders isn't for me. Most of my tomb raiding was done on the sort of reboot series that came out in the Xbox 360 era.
There are so many, it's been rebooted so many times, including right now, which I hear nothing but good news about.
Absolutely.
You know, was it Tomb Raider? What was the one from the 360 era where they remade the first one?
Ooh,
that was the one, because they've remade the first one, I think, a couple times now.
I liked the prequel one, which I believe was 2013, just called Tomb Raiders, or Tomb Raider by Crystal Dynamics.
I have that one in my, it's a Tomb Raider Legend, or wait, no, Anniversary is what I'm referring
gotcha.
to. I've had that on Steam for a while. I think they gave it away at some point in 2020.
That sounds right.
This will help you stay home thing. And I still haven't installed it, but I know that people loved it. So I should play it.
Yeah, I should check that. Maybe that's the answer. If I want some old school Tomb Raider, maybe that's the version of it I need to tackle. I can't do tank controls. I'll just never be able to do tank controls.
I really enjoyed, and I played it contemporaneous to it. So I played in 2007. I played Tomb Raider Anniversary, and I really enjoyed that. But
I wonder if Anniversary runs well on modern computers, or if it has already become aged and ancient.
Yeah, 2007. Let's see. Like
has games for Windows energy to it.
You know what I played it on? I played it on GameTap.
On what?
GameTap.
Oh, GameTap.
The video
the
game.
Sam & Max distribution platform.
Yes, that's right.
That's all I think of it as. That's exclusively the only thing I imagine.
But yeah. That's the last Tomb Raider I put any time in, which was 19 years ago.
Wow. Wow.
Then I played a bit of the remaster, and you want to know what? I had the same exact problem as you. I was these controls are, or not the re-release. I was like, these controls suck, and then I was done.
Yeah, no, I really did. It's like original controls suck, new controls worse. Can't play this game. Now I didn't try mouse and keyboard, which maybe that's where the solution lies. I'm probably more nimble on a mouse and keyboard than I am on a controller, but who's to say? It's impossible to say at this point because I've already uninstalled it.
Wow.
Get off my hard drive, Lara Croft.
Ben,
what have you been playing?
Well, Jess, this is going to be a follow-up. This is going to be I mentioned this one a couple weeks ago, and now I'm bringing it back up, which is
bringing it back.
I mentioned a few weeks ago that I started playing Civilization 7 again with the new patch.
Mm-hmm.
Still playing it.
How's it doing? What do you think? What's the deal?
So I think like Civ is a game that like, it really kind of like unlocks itself to you over a bunch of plays. So so this might still be an ongoing what's been playing series here, but definitely playing like the Test of Time patch of Civ 7. I am playing it and I'm like way warmer. I'm like I'm playing it and so I think what the like it presents some of the information a bit better, which was a problem. Like the initial the UI wasn't great. Still not the best, but we're doing better. That's one. Two is I think the biggest thing that people talked about with this was that they got rid of the Civ swapping, or they didn't get rid of it, but they allowed you to hold on to the same Civ.
That mechanic was fascinating to me. Like
I still do.
How did it play? Like, how does that feel in the game? I've read about this from a million reviews and angry Steam comments and things like that. But
I don't mind it because here's the thing. I understand why. Now I haven't played. I know that that's something that the Civ-like game Humankind did first. So I haven't played that, so I couldn't tell you what it was like in that game. The reason why I think they did it, because the thing is that when you change Civs, and if you're unfamiliar with this in Civ 7, what it is that each age, of which I believe that there are 3 in Civ 7, at the end of the age, you had to change into a different Civ, and there were set Civs that were like ancient Civs, and then Age of Exploration Civs and modern Civs. So it was like they all lived in a certain time, so that it kind of makes sense, right?
Is there a progression in terms of these Civs evolve into a specific list of Civs, or is it
you wouldn't be able to pick any Civ? You would have. There would be one that historically makes sense for your leader and the Civ that you were playing as, where it's like, it makes sense. Because you hold on to the leader. The leader remains the same.
Okay.
So that's something, and then also during play, you would also unlock other Civs to swap into based off of actions that you took.
Gotcha.
It'd be like, okay, well, you built like a dozen ships. So this Civ is an ocean-faring Civ. So that you've unlocked this for the Age of Exploration. But anyway, I think that the reason that they did this was it's like there was this really great, I forget the name of this podcast. There's this podcast that the designer of Civ 4, this guy Soren Johnson, who his game right now is Old World, which is pretty good. Mm-hmm. He did this podcast where he would interview designers, and they were two designers having a conversation. It was always pretty interesting, and he's a very interesting, smart thinker. A lot of fun to listen to talk. There was a really good one, I believe he had Sid on once, and that was pretty interesting. It's been a long time since I've listened, so I could be totally wrong. Anyway, but he had John Schaefer, who was the guy that designed Civ 5 on. And so it was two guys talking Civ shop for a while, right?
Yeah.
And it was a really, really interesting conversation, especially because Civ 5 is so different. So it's like they're kind of talking about their game philosophies and stuff like that. One of the things that they both talked about, again, this is from my recollection of a podcast I listened to probably 7 years ago.
So it's flawless.
Absolutely correct. But I seem to recall that a thing that they both agreed on was it's a game of Civ is too long. It is insane to design a game like Civ, because a game like Civ has like, hundreds of turns. And they were both like, it's too many turns. A game of Civ is too many turns. It is so difficult to design a game, let alone make completely new versions every 7 years or whatever.
And expect it to be equally fun across 100 different turns.
Yeah. And so, like, and that's something that's really stuck in my head. And so it's like the two of them like had different different approaches, but it's like Soren, I seem to recall, said, maybe it was like, because it's like, I will not design another game that is that many turns. And like, I don't believe that Old World, I haven't played it in a while, but I don't think Old World is like 700 turns or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so what I think I think the intent on the Civ swapping was an idea of, let's try to break a really long game of Civilization into definitive, discrete chunks.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore we can really focus on keeping them like kind of interesting and introduce like really big dramatic changes that like keep the player engaged, and make it like 3 different board games.
Yeah.
Not different board games, but you know what I mean. And so I think that was the idea. And like the thing is that each age does have different ways of doing it. And different like focuses and features and stuff like that. But ultimately, I just don't think like the Civ swapping quite worked there. It was also a big change in this patch, is that they really kind of changed, like they had I forget the name of it, but they had a system where it would kind of railroad you into how you would like end an age or something like that. I forget what that system, like legacies or something, I forget.
Yeah.
And they got rid of that and they replaced it with something called Triumphs, which is a lot more open-ended and freeform.
Gotcha.
And that's way better, because it's like having a railroad in a game like Civ, where it's not like, the fun of it is that it's, you can do whatever you want. Like Triumphs is a much better system. So far, so good. I'm gonna need even more games on it before I determine if I liked it, really like it. But definitely on the right path.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
All right, we got to jump to it. We have an email.
We have an email.
Yeah. QuestPodcast@gmail.com. This is from Friend Club. Dear Ben Quest and Jess Quest. That's true.
Our full legal names.
In your latest episode, as of this email, Sarah J. Benincasa dared a millennial listener of this podcast to admit they're not familiar with MST3K or Joel Hodgson. I'm here to confess I'm guilty as charged. Now he goes on, and I did want, like, a thing I should have said to her, which is, spoilers on this email. It's like, I should have said to her, it's like, our listenership isn't entirely American.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is why I'm like, so actually a lot of our listeners totally might not be familiar.
Yeah. And there's several states we're banned in. So, I mean, like, our international audience is actually quite large.
So anyway, he continues. I'm in my 40s, but I grew up in a small remote town in Israel. So while I was exposed to a lot of media that drew me to the crowd Quest came from, like adventure games and Homestar Runner, I only knew Mystery Science Theater is a weird acronym I struggled to pronounce. I was exposed to a lot more British humor, which is why I make all those trite Monty Python jokes and enjoy Simon the Sorcerer better than Jess does.
Ooh, well, I mean, that's not saying much.
With time, while still overseas, I realized that it was just pronounced Mystery Science Theater, and it partially solidified into this notion of a series of someone involved being trapped on a satellite watching bad movies, 2 robots as a form of punishment, gripping all the way. Never had the chance to see any of it. Definitely not in my formative years. Joel Hodgson never crossed my radar. Once I had moved over to the US as an adult, I never got around to it. So many other things to catch up on, like Caddyshack. Or how? Well, a thick blanket was a comforter. What? We didn't talk about this. And you could find one at Walmart. You wrapped it in a duvet cover, which you can only find in a set with pillow covers at a Target. I hope this explanation saves everyone the cross-country drive. Craftfully yours, see? Quill.
You know, I have to be 100% honest, Ben. My Mystery Science Theater 3000 exposure is relatively low as well. Like, I don't think I've probably seen more than 3 or 4 episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000. And I'm a little ashamed of that. What I've seen, I enjoy.
Can I give you recommendations?
Yes.
Because there's, there's a lot. Let me think on it, because this isn't something we game prepped.
Can we have a segment next week? Ben gets Jess going on Mystery Science Theater 3000. Well,
so
I didn't bounce off of it. Like, the first time I even heard of it, I think I may have read about it in some magazines here and there, but I think the first time I saw it, my college roommate, Corey, came back from, I think, like fall break to campus and brought some VHSs that he had recorded while he was home with him. And it was a bunch of episodes of Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
All right.
And then like one episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000. And because we were at a campus like that didn't have TVs with cable really anywhere, everyone just like had VCRs in their dorm rooms and we watched whatever we get our hands on. And I think we watched those few episodes of Space Ghost and that one episode of Mystery Science Theater.
Do you remember what episode, or can you give me a vague description?
It was a science fiction-y one rather than a horror one.
It's a lot.
Okay. And it had, this won't help you at all. It had very stiff-legged robots that were
black and white.
Yes.
It was black and white. Okay, that helps narrow it down. Stiff-legged robots.
Yes. But that's all I can give you.
What year was this?
This would have been circa 96, 97.
Okay, so it was most likely from Comedy Central and not from
that would
when
make
it was
sense.
on this. They move over to Sci-Fi in 97, so it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I will recommend. This is what I'm going to recommend. Just one right off the bat. Space Mutiny.
Okay.
Space Mutiny. That's a really wonderful episode. Here's the thing about Mystery Science Theater, is that, as I said last week, almost all of it is on YouTube. And including, like, as I said last week, they're starting to roll in like the new episodes that they made.
Mm-hmm.
And while I think, some fans are, will say like, oh, those new episodes, because no one likes any.
No one likes anything
What is
new.
old is good.
Yes.
What is new is threatening and poor. Bad.
Yes.
There's a lot of good, and it's like the new Mystery Science Theater episodes have a lot of, like, there is some stuff as a fan that I think is not, like, where I'm like, I cross my arms and go like, oh, I wouldn't have done it that way. But I think the new episodes are good, and they're also, it's like, oh well, like they're, there's more contemporary references. That said, Space Mutiny is from that 1997 season, and it's really funny. So
thank you.
I'll say we'll start off here with Space Mutiny, and we can check back in. I met a actor from a Mystery Science Theater movie, and it's really funny because I bumped into her and I heard her name and I just kept repeating it to myself in my head. and a joke, like I heard like a joke on the name, like kind of tickling my brain, and I'm just like, where have I heard? Where did I like? What is this? Like why? Who is this? Like, and then I realized that it was someone in an episode. She was one of the actors in the movie Hobgoblins, which is one of my favorite episodes, but not one that I would recommend to start off with. Is to me, it's Hobgoblins is, if this sounds appealing, maybe it is a really bad, and they made a ton of these in the 80s, a really bad Gremlins knockoff.
Yes.
And
yes.
Yeah, and
that was like a whole subgenre.
Yeah, and for
Ghoulies,
some,
I guess, is the one I think of. That's kind of Gremlins adjacent there.
And for some people, Hobgoblins as a movie, like that episode of Mystery Science Theater, the movie is just too unwatchable. Like they're just like, I can't. But for me, I could watch that movie without Mystery Science Theater. I think it's just so corny and bad. Like I really enjoy it. So it's an episode of Mystery Science Theater I'd seen a million times. And then later I texted her and I was like, hey, were you in the movie Hobgoblins? This is killing me. I have to know. And this was in Los Angeles, by the way. So the odds were good. And she texts me back and says, LOL. Did you see that on Mystery Science Theater? And so I was like, all right. So to me, that's as big a celebrity sighting in Los Angeles as, like if you saw like, some actually distinguished actor, because I've seen her in this movie like 20 times.
Ben, have you ever heard of the sci-fi dine-in theater restaurant at Walt Disney World?
No.
You should Google this. The sci-fi dine-in theater restaurant.
Sounds like that song from Rocky Horror.
It kind of does. It does. Yes.
Oh yeah.
It
all right.
does.
So yeah, here it is. Okay.
So let me tell you, this is a restaurant at Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World. And the concept is you're seated in booths that look like
these
vintage
50s cars,
automobiles. Yeah. And you have like a science fiction theater setting. And on a large movie screen, the place is darkened, which is wonderful if you've been out in the hot Florida sun all day. It's just like a darkened setting. And on a movie screen, they show clips of B movies, science fiction B movies from the 40s and 50s on a loop, which is, I mean, I suspect a lot of those same films, there's a good chance, also appeared in Mystery Science Theater. But it is such a charming, not everything at Disney pulls off the charm it's going for. For me, this one was quite lovely. It's like a drive-in movie
in the
experience.
Resort area.
This is in the actual park.
Or is it in the park?
This is like around the corner from Star Tours.
Damn, that's annoying because it's like, because I have been to the Resort.
Yes.
But not Walt Disney World. I was there for a work conference. And I didn't go to Disney World, but I did stay at the Resort, which was nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, all right.
It's quite good. It's quite charming. It has Mystery Science Theater vibes. And you know what? You can sit there and be a silhouette who's saying snarky things about the movies that are being screened there.
Well, Mystery Science Theater makes a cameo in the game that we're talking about today, which is Dropsy. Did you know that? Did you see that?
Yeah, Dropsy. Yeah, I'm prepared to talk about.
Did you see the Mystery Science Theater cameo?
I don't think I did.
In the TV in Dropsy's home, you could turn on the TV and flip through the channels. And one of the channels is Mystery Science Theater.
Wow, I'm surprised they didn't get sued.
I mean, a distinct. It looked a little different. It looked a little
not
different.
Exactly the right.
The robots looked a little different. Like yes, but it is clearly.
Well, everything looks a little different in Dropsy.
That's true. So yes, this week we are talking about the 2015
Hard to believe. I know we say this about every game from
it
the
is
20
a
teens.
retro game, the 2015 point and click adventure game. I believe the freshman effort from Jay Tholen, who later went on to design Hypnospace Outlaw, which is a favorite of this podcast.
Yes, listen to that episode. It's a good one.
Dropsy. I'll go through, because I don't think, we have episodes of this podcast where it's a game where like everybody has played it, even if they haven't finished it, but everyone has some sort of level of familiarity, like when we discussed King's Quest 4 last week. Then we have ones perhaps that like a lot of people have played, or like more recent ones where it might be a mix. It might be people might not have played it, or they might just have heard of it, but it's not part of the 80s and 90s canon of games that people played when they were 10.
Precisely. Before adventure games died.
And so Dropsy is a adventure game that has absolutely no written language in it, including in the UI, like getting out of windowed mode or full screen is all in icons and pictographs. And the plot is that you are Dropsy the clown, who is shunned and hated in the island that he calls home, because of a horrible circus accident, where the circus that he was performing at burnt down, and people blame Dropsy for it erroneously, not his fault. This is
free Dropsy.
His so he lives with his father, who is ailing, in like this kind of wrecked circus tent. Dropsy does not speak any language. He doesn't speak any language, and he only like kind of understands the general vibes of what people are saying, which is why you only see it in icons. And he is the friend of all animals. So while people might be repelled by Dropsy because of his history
and terrifying visage,
his terrifying visage, which scares himself if you look in the mirror enough.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he has a jack-o'-lantern for a head at times.
So as you play it, it reveals like a bizarre conspiracy, like weird corporations. There are like black sites on this island. There are mysterious monoliths and odd creatures that live in caves, and all the while you travel through, mostly understanding what's going on.
Yes, that's about right.
And your objective, like while there is the plot objectives of the game, but your objective mostly is to be without any is to give out acts of kindness and love.
Yes.
And so, Jess, you don't care for this game about spreading love and kindness, where one of the verbs in is give hugs. So why are you such a cynical, miserable person that doesn't like a game about being a good person?
I can relate to a game based around the premise of just getting up every morning and your main quest is trying to get people to like you. Like that feels like very real. Not
getting up from your surreal nightmares.
Getting up from my surreal nightmares into the real world, which is its own different surreal nightmare. And yeah, just simply trying to convince people who are dubious about me to actually like me. That I feel like I get now. granted, a day spent handing out hugs sounds like a nightmare to me. I'm not trying to like hug strangers if I can help it.
Well, you get their consent. If they don't want,
yeah, of course,
hug,
yeah.
if they don't want to hug you, they're not going to.
Oh, they're very clear about that. Like
they're extremely clear.
Their pictographs will tell you, I don't want a dropsy hug right now.
I think they refer to it like in the marketing. It's like a wet, like a
moist hug.
Yeah, it's like a warm, moist hug or something. Yeah,
but no, I mean, there's a lot that I do like about this game. I will say, something I realized as I was playing, and I mentioned this as we were preparing for the episode. I think that at some level, maybe we've all made too much of the "I'm afraid of clowns" thing, and I think we see a resurgence of that with the resurgence of Pennywise and Welcome to Derry and all that sort of stuff. And I just watched Widow's Bay, which had a very scary clown in one episode.
I haven't watched that yet. I know everybody loves that.
On Sarah's recommendation last week, I have binged all of Widow's Bay up to the current episode. Now. So I was like, Ben, you tell me like for years to watch something like Mystery Science Theater, and I'm like, I'll get around to that. Sarah,
we have a charming, hilarious published author.
That's right.
And all of a sudden,
she casually mentions it, and I'm just like, I've got to subscribe to Apple TV.
How many fucking books do I have to write before you respect me? God damn it!
I couldn't respect someone who sleeps under a weighted blanket. Least of all myself.
I was gonna say, like the Groucho Marx quote. Would never want to be like I'm mangling it. I wouldn't want to be a member of a club that would have me in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, but no. I mean, I think that has gotten a little played out at this point. But I will say, it's not so much the clown element. I think for me, I think that I've discovered in recent years about myself that like a melancholy tone is not something I enjoy in much of my entertainment in general, unless it's the Smashing Pumpkins album Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, which is one of my probably top 5 albums of all time.
That topped you off.
Yeah, I got all the melancholy I need. Thanks to Billy Corgan, who in a lot of ways is like the Dropsy of alternative rock. He just wants people to love him. But he doesn't know how to make it happen. No. But yeah, I think that for me, as much as I love,
very melancholic game for sure.
Absolutely. And as much as I love like the message behind it, because at some level, it's a little bit of a bait and switch. You see a weird looking clown, and your immediate instinct is, this is going to be a creepy game about a creepy clown. And this is anything but that. That is not the vibe Dropsy himself is bringing to the table. Instead, what you get is kind of the very real horror of a society that sometimes tosses people aside, and a society that doesn't always provide people with what they need in a meaningful way. And in a lot of ways, there's not the supernatural horror I think that I was expecting just from, it's a game about a creepy looking clown. Instead, a lot of that, as melancholy and weird as the game can be, feels very real to me. And I like that about it. But I will say, as heartwarming as Dropsy's mission to sort of brighten the world that he lives in may be, I found it a little bit of a bummer to play through in that regard. Not a knock on the game. That's just a me thing.
A preference. Now,
yeah.
Here's the thing. Like, well, first, I love a melancholic tone.
Yes.
So that obviously is a big difference. But also,
no.
like for me though, that there's like, it has this melancholic tone of not only because as you play the game, and we're not gonna spoil too much, and even if we did spoil it and say like, because there are like late game like plot twists and reveals, I don't think that would really lessen your enjoyment of the game. I'm not going to do it.
It's not that kind of game. If we did do it, we would go back and just cut that part out.
Yeah. Uh, but but anyway, uh, but I think the there like because there is this melancholy, and it's not only the melancholy of like being like because I don't think Dropsy is particular. Like he is melancholy, and he has moments of sadness and of
Mm-hmm.
upset, but like largely he feels pretty guileless. Like he just wants to
Yes.
please people, and but there's the melancholy you feel as like the player, like removed, because
Yes.
you see the situation that Dropsy's in and how he's being treated, and you feel bad.
Yes.
But then also as you play the game, like you see a lot of people dealing with various injustices, both large and small.
Yeah.
Because like the world contained on this island that Dropsy lives on is like a world with great injustices, and a world like his father is sick and they don't have the money to afford medication for him. Like there's like, and then over the course of the game you meet other people who are hurt in a really
Mm-hmm.
like real way, uh and like it is like those are bummers, like the McElroys would hate it. And
Yeah, that's right.
the but like for me, why I love this game so much, beyond that, like, and we'll get to it, like there's a lot of the aesthetics and other stuff that I really enjoy in this game. But what I really like about the game is that in these troubled times,
These unprecedented times.
playing something, and this is actually how I felt when I played it in like, because I bought it at release because I just saw it and I was just like, this seems interesting. Um is that I I love to play something so thoroughly about like doing like good and selfless
Yes.
acts, and like these moments where like and having this turn of like the people, they rejected Dropsy, but then Dropsy like revealed what selfless acts of kindness can do.
Yeah.
And in such like I was teasing you at the beginning, of course, like,
Yeah.
but like it is we we live in a time where it's very easy to be cynical, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting to breathe that air,
Yes.
to be in a world where like it feels like you're downwind of the cynicism factory, and there's just big clouds of billowing cynicism smoke coming at
Mm-hmm.
you. And so to play a game where you're this character that is the antithesis of that is like, to me, a wonderful breath of fresh air. Like I feel something strong from the game, and I know I'm not going to get too far into this because this isn't really my expertise, but I know like I've seen like people write essays, and there are YouTube videos out there and stuff like that. I watched one of them a while back that I thought was pretty good. Like that it's also informed by uh Jay's faith. Like
Yeah.
there is definitely, and within like the full narrative, like there is like it is a game, and it it both operates independent of, but also you can do a very like strong like religious reading of the game if you'd like to.
Mm-hmm.
um and I think that is just great.
You know, something that really did leap out at me as I was playing this, and something I really liked about Dropsy as a character, is as you play through it, I couldn't help but draw comparisons to other adventure game protagonists. You know, you think about someone like a Guybrush Threepwood, may be one of the better examples, where his interactions with nearly everyone in his world are usually about getting him ahead, getting him something he needs, putting one over on people so he can move on to solve whatever problems are in front of him. And in that sense, even when you're doing fetch quests for people and things like that, oftentimes it's largely just to benefit yourself as the protagonist. And I do think, I mean, while there's some elements of that, I mean, certainly this is a game with progression from start to finish, and there are puzzles you have to solve along the way and things like that. But the fact that Dropsy he's not trying to make people like him because he's scoring people like me points necessarily.
No.
He's trying to make the world a better place, and as a result, people begin to like him, which I think is an admirable way to tackle this. Again, in a genre where protagonists oftentimes are just, you know, egoistic jerks.
Cruel.
Yeah, cruel in many cases. Yeah, I mean that there is no cruelty in Dropsy. I mean, it's
Dropsy, almost there is cruelty.
There's plenty around him, and I think that's what's fascinating. Again, I think that's the interesting switch. Again, you know, you see a game with a creepy clown, to realize it's the world around him that's creepy and terrible is kind of a fun subversion.
I think another thing about it is that a lot of the game is like there are plenty of just optional puzzles.
Yes.
That like you do just so like you solve someone's like hatred of Dropsy by you do a good deed, and then they're like, and then you'll hug, and when you hug someone, like this big icon like pops up on the screen and with confetti and stuff. And then also in Dropsy's bedroom, a doodle of that person goes up on the wall. And so like you can like there are a lot of people that you can do good deeds for where that's just it. Like that is the whole thing. It's just to get that. And also it's like if you're the dog, you can also find all the fire hydrants to be on.
Because Dropsy does have animal friends.
Yeah, you can over the course of the game, you start with a dog, you also get a little bird, and I believe it's a mouse is the last one. And so that's another thing I really like about the game. And something I was talking about this on the Discord, which the Discord link is in the show notes. Like I was, we were continuing our discussion of King's Quest 4 in the Discord, and like a thought that I didn't talk about last week was that's the last of the here's a big open woods King's Quest game.
Yeah, the design gets a lot tighter after this.
Yeah, like after that, King's Quest, like the next time that King's Quest became like kind of open chunks where you explore, it became an action RPG. And Dropsy has gated parts, but pretty early on, it opens up a big world to wander through. And one of the things that I noted, like kind of talking about it, is that there's also just screens like in King's Quest 4 and also in Dropsy that only exist to traverse through them.
Yes.
Which is interesting, and I kind of like that. That's something I like. And I don't even know what the difference is between a game where I enjoy exploring that and a game where I'm like, this world's too big. I don't like this. This is a waste of my time.
We've already mentioned it in this episode already. Simon the Sorcerer is a game with too much of this, too many, screens that only exist to be another slow slog between point A and point B. And that game doesn't pull it off. And maybe it's just like, if you're charmed with the game, you'll put up with it.
Yeah.
If the game isn't winning you over, feeling like you're having to spend unnecessary time, especially when you already know where you're going and you just have to trudge through this again. I think
there's also fast travel eventually in this game.
Eventually there's, Kyrandia is another game that I think at times this can be a real bear, especially if in some of those randomized gem quests, you have to really backtrack far, and that one I think is another one where this open-y feel works against it to some degree.
Oh, we haven't done Kyrandia 3 yet. We got to get to that.
I still haven't played Kyrandia 3.
Oh shit, well then you have to play it, then we'll get to it.
Yeah, maybe, I haven't streamed any Kyrandia. Is that?
I thought
wait, no, I did one.
You did the first one. You did the
I did
first
one. I take that back. I haven't streamed 2 though, which I love. I love 2. I know you're a hater.
I'm not a hater of 2. I'm just not like I'm just kind of like, yeah, this is the best one. Said like that.
Not a high bar, yeah,
But one thing I want to touch on with Dropsy that I alluded to a little bit, but we didn't talk, is its whole aesthetic, both music and art. So first, I'm going to talk about the music, because I don't know how you felt, I fucking love the music in this game.
The music, one of my favorite parts of it. Like, this is something that absolutely worked for me.
Yeah, it's
very evocative, very mood setting.
Like this very like I mean,
it's what would you smooth jazz, almost Muzak, in like not in a non-derogatory way.
No, I don't know if I'd call it that, but like you're close. Like there's such like a comfortable feel to this song in particular.
Yes,
is my favorite of all the tracks, though they're mostly good. Like in fact, revisiting this game, Jess, I went and I bought this on vinyl.
Oh wow,
it's on the way.
I feel like that song could easily have been in like a Charlie Brown television special. Just like
you're getting that's
the genre. That's the genre.
It's like this, and all of the music, and it also has like this kind of like, you could tell it was recorded live. There's kind of like, you can kind of hear like a little bit of like the realness of it. I don't know, listen, I don't have a music education. I don't know how to say any of this shit.
I mean, I'm an amateur musicologist, but I don't know if that counts.
But I mean, I think the music is so intensely distinctive, and like, that was one of the things when I got the game, was it immediately pulled me in. I was just like, damn, this is really, really great music. Like every single like different piece really like took me somewhere. So I'm really
the music adds a lot. I think it goes from like, if the tone elsewhere can feel a little bit melancholic, as we said before.
I mean, I think
the music
super melancholic.
I don't know. It almost feels more wistful to me, which is close to melancholic.
It feels like a lazy summer day.
Yeah.
I this is the only one I pulled for this. There are a couple pieces that are straight up like kind of music. Like there's like the corporation theme when you're in, like,
which is meant to sound like music.
Yeah. Anyway,
so good.
Then also, meanwhile, so then you have a color palette that is very bright, candy colored.
Yes. Almost washed out in candy colors in a really appealing way. Like the graphics on this are top notch. It has incredibly expressive character designs and animations. Like, I think that's something that stands out. You meet a lot of people in this game.
There are a lot of characters in this.
There are a lot of characters.
Easy to do when there's no voiced. Like, I mean, it probably wasn't easy to draw any of these characters because they're all very distinct. Like, so if you worked on this and you're listening, you're like, it wasn't easy at all. Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
easy to do without voices.
that's true. Easier. Yeah. I mean, then again, it's like, what would King Baby of the Junkyard sound like if we if we could actually hear him?
Well, they all kind of make simless noises.
Yes.
So you do kind of get a little bit of it. But they all have like these very exaggerated, like kind of caricature type looks, like very like kind of big. Some people have like really big heads. Some characters kind of look like, I hesitate to say like quote unquote normal, but just have normal like proportions.
Yeah, like the two women hanging out in the stoop.
That's exactly what I was thinking
downtown.
about.
Yeah, they are not particularly exaggerated.
No.
But I mean, again, the guy who runs the junkyard is like a wacky cartoon character at some level. And yeah, you definitely, I mean, it's really an accomplishment how you get to know these characters, considering that most of your actual interactions with them, again, are sort of nonsense, Simlish style dialogue, and then little floating icons over their heads.
Which sometimes are a little confusing.
Sometimes can be a little bit abstract and vague. But I mean, it's very clear when they don't like Dropsy, but some of the others are, But the animations and the character designs go so far into letting you know who these characters are in the absence of that sort of dialogue.
So, and like, and there's like, as you like, there are animations, like Dropsy has this incredible walk animation. It's like very, very like great, but all of the characters have like just these really wonderful, like kind of cartoon movements.
Dropsy might go in my walking animation Hall of Fame. Currently, the inaugural class of the Decaf Jedi Walking Animation Hall of Fame are Sam from Sam and Max, Hit the Road specifically.
Hit the Road, okay.
Yes, I love his swinging arms as he walks. And then, of course,
maybe when you get him like up and down, like towards the, it's very distinct. Yes, good point.
And probably the greatest walking animation of all time. I think that everyone can agree on this. Laverne from Day of the Tentacle.
Ooh, that is a good one. I mean, all those characters, all like, Jess, you don't see this, but Jess is doing it. Jess,
I call that the double marionette. It's like I have, no, but Laverne's amazing.
Because up there. Speaking of Day of the Tentacle, it's like Dropsy does have like a hoagie build, I would say, like a big pot belly,
body by hoagie,
big round head. Dropsy doesn't have fingers, like he just has like kind of a blobby arm.
Yes, I can relate to that.
So Jess, when we were talking before the stream or before the record, I said, so you've been playing Perfect Tides, the first Perfect Tides,
yes,
by Meredith Grant, which we may talk about soon. But so you've been playing it, and I know you really love it, as do I. That first Perfect Tides game is excellent. So I'm going to say, so about Perfect Tides, when we recorded our interview with Meredith, who designed those games, like a couple months ago. Was it 4 months ago, you said?
It was 4 months ago, Jesus. Impossibly.
And when we had that interview with her, like I had only played, I would say maybe the first quarter of Perfect Tide Station to Station. Now I've played all of it, and I'm probably going to play it again in the near future. I think Perfect Tide Station to Station is a masterpiece. I think it's one of the best adventure games made in this century, and possibly period.
Certainly, I mean, it's one of the top 2 centuries. of adventure games.
Yeah. The 17th and this one. And the so and I love the first Perfect Tides. I adore that game, but I don't consider it a masterpiece on the level of Station to Station. I think Perfect Tides Station to Station is a masterpiece. I
Wow.
love that game. We like that was one of our longest runs of stream. Like maybe not one of our longest, but it was a long run of streams because I was savoring it. Like I was like, I don't
Yeah.
like usually as a streamer, like by the time that I get to like week 4 of a game, I start to get a little itchy. And I
Yeah.
think people probably detect it in me too. Like that's when if I'm solving it myself, up to that point, I start to like kind of have a like start looking at walkthroughs. It's like, all right, I'm kind of but no, Station to Station. I wanted to be in Station to Station as long as I possibly could.
Hmm.
Um, uh, so Perfect Tides, the first Perfect Tides, I think, is an extremely good game. Um, and I have the same feeling about Dropsy. I think Dropsy is an extremely good game. I think both Perfect Tides and Dropsy very 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 different games, but they're both more kind of traditional point and click adventure games. They have inventories, they have puzzles. They're like there's a certain type of informed by actually both of them I would say are both informed by like kind of a like something of a Sierra type idea. Both of them have like a like you access your verbs by putting the mouse at the top of the screen. Perfect Tides just straight up has like the mid era SEI
Yes.
like interface. And then the like the next game, so Station to Station, eschews most puzzles. It is not a traditional point and click adventure game. There's I would say maybe light puzzling, but it's not you're not really it's mostly about the decisions that you make in the moment. Um and you know, the next game that you know that Jay Tholen designed is another game that I would consider a masterpiece. I would consider one of the best games, adventure games of the century. That would be Hypnospace Outlaw. And that also, like, it's not puzzle light. It actually has some pretty devious puzzles, I would say.
Yes, but not in the way
Um,
that you imagine puzzles. Not
it,
conventional. I mean, as unconventional as Dropsy's narrative style is, the puzzle design is very
yeah.
conventional. And not bad.
And
That's not a knock on it, but it's
no,
just very much in the traditions of the field. Whereas Hypnospace Outlaw is
is its
something
own
very
thing.
different. Yeah.
And so like and because yeah, if you've ever played any adventure game, any point and click adventure game, you'll immediately figure out Dropsy right away and you'll know what to
Hmm.
do. It's not like there were like having played it a couple times now, there's like one or two puzzles that like I found a little challenging, but I wouldn't call it like a hard game. I would call it like maybe
No.
easy to medium at points.
Yeah.
And
And some of the hard parts are less about the puzzles and more about some of the sometimes being confused about exactly what a character needs from you due to the nature of the pictogram
yeah,
style interface. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but overall, yeah, these aren't difficult puzzles.
but you know, my larger point here is that like these are two games where it feels like it's like these two creators that made some really wonderful beautiful games that I love made uh strange and excellent point and clicks that kind of play and tweak and modify but stay within the boundaries of traditional like 90s point and click adventure design, and then for their sophomore effort threw all that away like
Yes.
in a good way, like with like took those ideas, like said it's like all right, I made point and click adventure game, now I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yes.
And so that's a quality I really like about Dropsy. It's also a quality I really like about Perfect Tides. And like, for me, as somebody that loves Hypnospace Outlaw, another game that has incredible music and a totally like wild color palette and stuff like that. It feels like uh, you know, your band put like your favorite band put out like an incredible album and it's your favorite album, and then you listen to the album before it, and it isn't like you love this album and it doesn't have everything that you love about your favorite album, but you're like, I love this band,
Yeah.
so I love this too. You know what I'm
It's like
saying?
going back and listening to Gish after you've really gotten into Siamese Dream by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, exactly like that. But yeah, I mean, I think anyone like has that where it's like, oh, my favorite band's album. Then I listen to the one before it, and you could see that they're kind of working towards.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and
kind
there's
of
something fun
working
about that.
towards like like if your favorite They Might Be Giants album is Flood, their second album, but then you listen to
Yeah.
They Might Be Giants, their first album, you're like, oh, this is pretty good. It's not Flood, but it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's even fun, like when you occasionally catch like what feel like prototyping of ideas. Like, say you picked up, He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. And you're like, I love this album. It's got all my favorite songs on it. It's got brand new funk. It's got Parents Just Don't Understand.
Yeah.
It's got it's
all
got a
the
human
bangers.
video game where like Ready Rock C, their beatbox does like a great Donkey Kong sound that's pretty amazing. And then you're like, later you're at your local Big M, which is like the department store in your hometown, and they have a cassette of Rock the House, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince's debut album. And you pick that up, it's got some great songs on it too, like, Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble. But as you're listening to this, it's like you can even see elements of like some of the lyrics that would reappear in the big thing, some of the themes that they build on in later works. So in a lot of ways, I feel like Dropsy is the DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince Rock the House to Hypnospace Outlaws. He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper.
Yeah, that's exactly, you took all the words right out of my mouth. It was like, we were merged as one for one moment.
Yeah. And at some level, I mean, do you see yourself more as DJ Jazzy Jeff or the Fresh Prince?
Oh, I see myself as all of them.
Wow. Wow, that's beautiful.
But yeah, I mean, listen, we could all do this, but it's like I love this. Like I love going back and doing it.
Because I played these backwards. I played Hypnospace Outlaw and then came back to Dropsy. So I am very much having that experience in real time.
And you'd agree that like are you with me? Like Hypnospace is like in the upper tier of games released in
I think that
25, 26 years of the century.
Yes, I would say. I mean, Hypnospace Outlaw is wild. Like it is so out of the box. It is so ambitious. It plays with the genre in ways that really certainly no game before had, and I'm not sure if many games have since. I mean, it's fantastic. It's sort of interesting, as you say, to see a game like Dropsy that very much plays by the conventional rules of the genre. It almost is like I can imagine
learning the rules so you can break them.
Yeah, you had to get that out of your system. You had to get your by the numbers adventure game, which you had to call Dropsy a by the numbers adventure game.
Or to call Perfect Tides a by the that's which right. By the way, I mean we will have an episode on it, so let's not let's not
beat around the bush.
Yeah.
But I mean the same I mean getting that out of your system so that you can make something a little bit more experimental, a little bit more personal, a little bit more out of the box is fun to see. Yeah. And I think the origin of this one too is a fascinating one. Like,
yeah,
Ben, were you on something awful? Like, was that you were there, right?
I was definitely on something awful when. So okay, so so some background for this. So like uh in I think what, like 2008, like this is on the
Yeah,
Wikipedia
it's
for
early,
this.
like 2007, 2008.
Yeah,
It
so
starts off as a
many
choose
years
your own
ago it
adventure. Yeah.
was. So there was I've found this thread many years ago. I looked at it. What it was there was a thread that was on the massive, and at the time, like, enormously internet influential um internet forum, something awful. uh there was a thread of, it's like, hey, here's this clown Dropsy, whose friend, like, again, once again, I'm in trying to, like, describing something I saw like 15 years ago. But it's like, here's Dropsy, he's on this island or something, like, what should he do? And people in the thread would all, like, say, and there was art, there was
Yeah.
doodles.
So like they
um
would pick the next action, and then Jay would draw the
mhm,
scene that was described, right? And it
yeah,
just sort of unfolded that
yeah.
way.
And so this was on, so this is once again, so this is on the something awful forums, which were enormously huge in internet culture at that particular moment, before, like, this is, so that's 2008, so that's like just at the birth of, like, everyone starting to get onto social media. Like, obviously, MySpace and some other stuff existed earlier, but, like, now everybody, like, a larger, which would eventually be one of the main things that would kind of, like, that and Reddit, stuff like that. Anyway, something awful is, like, what happened and all of that is another discussion entirely. But anyway, um there was a genre of posts. So I had an account on something awful since 2003. That was when I made
Wow.
my account. It's 2003. And if I if I drop out of this record, it's because my cat is rolling around directly in front of the computer and keeps getting close to the keyboard. Um,
Uh-oh.
but anyway, um so there was, like, a popular trend in general bullshit, which was the main kind of general chat sub forum on something awful, where it was, like, kind of like, kind of narrative story threads. And, like, sometimes it would be like that type of choose your own adventure, but there would also be like, there were various people that were kind of personalities that were like, they were like, here's my day job as, like, I'm the guy that delivers the Culligan water. Or no, it was people playing pranks on their Culligan delivery man. That was what it was, pretty mean, which was, again, that's what that website was.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was like, it was part of that whole thing, was like, it was very popular in the forum at the time, in my recollection, for people to do these kind of either interactive or not interactive, like, big story mega threads on the general bullshit um sub forum, largely because they had sub forumed everything else out of being able to be discussed in that forum, which was, like, that was the problem, was that, like, you couldn't, like, be like, hey, anyone see this movie, because there was a movies forum. Hey, anyone play this video game? There's a video game. Like, hey, who's watching this TV show, or there's a TV, like, and so like that sub forum became like, you have to, if you have, like, you were the admin of a forum,
oh yeah,
you had to have the general forum, but it's like, and you see this in so many Discords today, right? Like, you go on a Discord and there's like 5,000 channels.
Yes, I have
and
5,000
nothing
channels
to watch.
oh.
But like, it's
They got a channel called
5,000.
MTV that doesn't even show videos.
Oh my god, yeah. What the hell? But yeah, I don't know. It came out of that, and then I decided to provide a short history lesson on the general bullshit forums of Something Awful circa the late 2000s.
I don't think I even knew Something Awful existed. Somehow, I was on the internet kinda at that time, and just was completely unaware of Something Awful. Like, I don't think I heard of it until years later. I don't know how that's possible. I don't know. I guess I was just on dig.com all the time. I was just upvoting things.
Fark.
Dig.
Were you on
I was on
Fark?
Fark. I was on Fark. I was on Fark.
Yeah, the people on Something Awful made fun of Fark all the time.
Wow, we were so awesome over at Fark.
Made fun of Fark all the time. I'm not kidding.
No. I mean, well, yeah, there's good reason to. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Like, I mean, it's probably fine that you weren't there. It was a nasty, mean place.
Yeah, no,
it was like, me like having like kind of happy nostalgia for this forum. I don't want to elide that a lot of really horrible internet things were born or gestated there. Like, this isn't me saying, and I stand with everything that happened there. No.
Well, that's weird because that's what the clip is going to say on YouTube.
Oh, when you play the, yeah.
Yeah, when I edit around this, that's exactly what you're going to say.
But yeah, I mean, it was an interesting, it was, I mean, now that we're fully detoured onto this, it was interesting because it was like me, like, I'd done a little time on your forum on the subspace channel, and I had been on other kind of forums that were all like probably like at their biggest, maybe like 150 people. How many people did you get onto subspace? You probably got a lot of people.
I want to think I had about 1,000 registered.
Yeah,
but I want to think active. Like, if it ever topped like 100 that were active simultaneously, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And so it's like going over to Something Awful, which I think had like, would, you would log on and it would say like there's like, 20,000 people looking at it at that moment. Like, it was a real like like I opened up Something Awful right now, and Something Awful, it still exists, 2026, it's still going. There are 2,216 registered users logged in and browsing.
Wow.
There are 213,000 users total. But yeah, like, it is, even now in its like, all these years later, well past its relevancy, like, there's still 2,000 and some change people on it at this moment as we record.
Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked. I went to Fark just now, and I mean, there are a lot of articles on the front page with like a dozen comments or so, but here's one with the headline "Boomers finally gained their revenge on other generations" that has 136 comments. So, there's still people like that are farking.
Listen, there's still people on fucking Slashdot.
Ah, that's amazing.
Like, I just opened up Slash. Let's you know what? Let's look at some old. Let's healthy masculinity is remembering some guys, and so let's remember some old websites and see if they're still active. Looking at Slashdot, there's a post today and it has 78 comments.
Wow.
There's so I mean, I don't know.
I'm on Boing Boing. It's still going strong.
Let's see.
They have a review of 007 First Light on Boing Boing.
Looking at Metafilter, this one seems a little slower. This one, Metafilter is definitely well past this.
Let's see what Dig is now. Oh, when you go to Dig, let me tell you what happens, Ben.
Yeah.
It auto redirects you to dig.com/AI. So right away, we're off to a good start.
Great.
It doesn't take you just to the root directory. It's shuffling you straight to something called Dig AI. Same mission you remember, find what matters early. AI News is our first vertical. It moves fast, which makes it the perfect testing ground for our new engine. Dig's got it all. And it's all
Bots
AI.
are everywhere now. The real question is who's human and which humans to trust. That doesn't sound fun. So we mapped 9 million connections, found the 2,000 voices that move first, and surfaced what they touch before it spreads. Kick the tire, AI news first, more topics coming soon. Ooh, what piece of shit bought this website? Like, Jesus fucking hell. Holy smokes. Well, I don't want to remember websites anymore.
Nope, it's no fun.
It
nope,
sucks, man. Oh God. This is bullshit. Like, oh yeah, like it's like, oh, there's 2.7K likes of this post. Like, how many of them are fucking real?
No, this is the future, Ben. I'm reading it and it looks really good.
So is this like is this now like this is bad. I'm looking.
Yeah, it's not
I'm looking at. Oh,
what are you seeing right
I'm
now?
just looking at like just the like just what it looks like when you click on one of the stories and like how it horrible.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's
Ben, describe this.
I don't even know how to describe it. It looks. I mean, I'd rather go to rotten.com than spend a minute longer on this. And I'm not going to go to rotten.com. I don't know if that exists anymore, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that either. But I'm done. Going to Dig really knocked the wind out of my sails. Ugh.
Yeah, no, it is upset. Like, just to give people a sense of this, like when you click in on articles now, then this is great radio on dig/AI. Like there's a little chart that's like sentiment where it like summarizes everyone's comments on this. So it's like this story I'm looking at about Claude writing 80% of code base, whatever. Like 40.8% of the responses are positive and 59.2 are negative. And then there's a chart full of cluster engagement.
Yeah, the cluster. I've closed my tab. I'm not looking at this. Listen. To bring us back to the subject, I was talking earlier about like the fucking cynicism factory, like just going. It's like my windows are wide open. Which, by the way, I discovered I have to buy new windows for my condominium. I'm not very happy about.
This is where they get you banned. This is where you set it on fire, and let your insurance take care of things.
I'm not supposed to. We can't have this recorded. Now.
Nobody's listening to this.
But it feels,
at this point, they all tuned out when we started talking about websites we remembered. You're fine, Ben. Now's the time to discuss all of your criminal activities you're currently plotting.
It was the perfect plan. I hid all of my plans in plain sight on my podcast after we started the most boring conversation possible.
Yes, now, as you Kaiser Soze away from your burning condo.
But anyway, but it's like it feels like I have like my windows just like directly open, and there's a smokestack, like just billowing, like cynicism smoke into it. Like just looking at Dig, I'm just like, this is the shit I'm talking about. I need a
How did
fucking
Kevin
clown
Rose
to fix
let that
this.
happen? How'd Kevin Rose let that happen?
Not the clowns in Congress.
Or not those the clowns in Dropsy.
That's the real clowns, like Dropsy. If Dropsy was in Congress, he'd show those guys a thing or two. But like, you know, the real clowns, Jess.
Yes. The real clowns.
The real clowns are the clowns in Congress. Or
can you imagine getting all 535 of them into a tiny car?
Listen, you know, to be more inclusive of our international listeners, or insert your parliamentary system here.
The MPs in Parliament.
I've been reading international news lately, and
whoa!
I switched over. I flipped over to newspaper C1. Oh no, it's bad.
Yeah. You see, I didn't see anything about it on Dig, so I really don't know what's going on around the world anymore. I get all my news from Dig, so I know how
they're just in. Everything's great from Claude.
Yes. I need to look at some of the cluster data on that to be sure, but
you got to check the cluster data.
The cluster analytics are really what I'm looking for in news.
You should, like, you got to check the cluster data. Like, it's, you know, and that's the problem. Like, before we had AI, we didn't have cluster data. Like, I would look at a news story, like, and it would not provide cluster data on it, and I'd just say, what's the point? And
some of them were a real cluster too. Some of those news stories were themselves a real cluster flump.
And now this stuff, I'm happy to say, it's not even it's not suited to line a bird cage. So think about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do we have anything else to say about Dropsy?
I mean, like I said, this isn't the tone I'm generally looking for, but there's
this isn't I really dig game. About this game. That's fine.
That's it's not my game.
A game that you dig.com/AI.
Yeah, that's the thing. The cluster analytics on this were all off for me. I ran the numbers on it, and like I was clustering down in the lower left-hand corner, and it's clustering up in the upper right-hand corner.
Jess, I'm looking at X-ray right now, and I see a cluster in you.
Oh yeah,
it's that basil fried rice.
Oh God, it is. It's like a football in my stomach right now.
You're Lucy, and you just swallowed the football.
Okay. I ordered it with beef, and Ben, they do like nice pieces of sirloin when you order beef there. It's like a really nice, like, it's not just like, here is some beef. It's like steak, and it was so good.
That fills you up.
It filled me up. I'm so full.
With rice, with eggs cooked in oil.
Yes, and I have to estimate probably about the equivalent of 4 shakers worth of salt. If I had to just roughly estimate, like I've drank probably 2 gallons of water since I got home, and that's only adding to the the Dropsy-esque swelling of my belly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to make it, Ben. This is probably the last episode of Quest with me as host. And I know Grayson's just been waiting in the wings, licking his chops.
He's champing at the bit.
Yes,
absolutely. He's licking his champs.
Yep, he's a real champ licker, that Grayson. Ready to step in here when I can't serve. He's got 25th Amendment me.
He's limbering up. Oh, yeah, the 25th Amendment. Like, that's real. Anyway, all right. Well, that's Dropsy, everyone. A game a game I love, but I can accept. It is a game that, like, I can understand why
it's delightfully weird. Delightfully weird is what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's exactly the speed. Here's the thing. I think Hypnospace Outlaws is quite melancholy too.
It is. And, there's a nostalgia there that oftentimes, has melancholy wrapped up in it. Yeah, I mean, maybe just being separated from the humanity of it by like one level of mediation for me. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just afraid of clowns.
Nah. We love clowns. We saw that clown together.
That's true. We did. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I was like, there's a clown, Ben.
Yeah, we saw that clown. There was just a clown walking down the street. And you want to know who it was? A senator.
Wow. Wow.
All right. Well, folks, thank you so much for listening. Or an MP for our international listeners. Or, insert, you got me.
Insert legislator here.
Yeah.
They're all buffoons.
They're all buffon. They're all performing in the great tradition of French buffon. Anyway,
talk about a circus.
Thank you so much for joining us for another wonderful episode of Quest, the Adventure Game Podcast. If you would like to send us an email, defending your friends, the clowns in Congress.
Well, I bet a lot of people even voted for some of those clowns. Yeah, not me.
Wow. Everyone I vote for loses.
That's exclusively.
Like, anyway.
Yeah. I need to get on Polymarket before the next election and really figure out like where my wins are going to be. I need to vote for some winners for a change. I think I'd feel better about democracy if I voted for someone who won an election.
Anyway, questpodcast@gmail.com. Rate and review 5 stars. We love it. Helps people find this podcast. It's really great. When they do that, and then they're like, why are they talking about? Actually, I say it's like, why are they talking about what they eat for 50 minutes at the beginning? But that's most podcasts, and people are now
really
trained.
Is.
You just skip it. Now,
that's what the 45 seconds ahead button is for.
The 45 seconds ahead button?
Yeah.
I just have like a skip 5.
I've got 45. I can't mess around, Ben.
All right. Anyway, join us next week when we discuss the new to me adventure game, Space Quest 4. All right, so Jess, this is an important question, and we might have this might have been kind of part of other discussions, but I think this deserves its own. Which is, do you know if if there are more than 2 Time Rippers?
This is a great question.
Yeah,
there's Roger Wilco Jr.
Yeah, because as established, we know that the Time Rippers are the good guys.
Yes. Well, we kind of know that.
Okay. The reason I thought that the Time Rippers are the bad guys, because Time Rippers sounds like bad guys.
Yes. And also, when you hear sequel police, you think, I can trust the police.
Yeah.